bring in Terrell County Sheriff and retired Border Patrol agent Thaddeus Cleveland and Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreau. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on. I'll play a little bit more sound. This is from Aaron Heitke, the former border chief. He said this.
They wouldn't allow us to put out any information. It was very frustrating knowing what was going on, knowing that there were large gaps in the border coverage, and that there were real threats there that we weren't able to address, and that there were real threats entering our country.
I mean, Sheriff Cleveland, you know this better than anybody because you were part of the Border Patrol, but we have been lied to for years. What do you think of the testimony?
Hi, Trace. It's great to be back. And look, I worked with Aaron at headquarters Border Patrol. We were assigned there together, and he's a stand-up guy, and everything he's saying is completely true. The Border Patrol has been muzzled the last 3.5 years by the administration, where before, we were a very transparent organization. We encouraged ride-alongs with whether it was news media, other folks, and they've been prevented from doing that since this administration took over. And more so, you've had other people on your show, Chris Clem, Rodney Scott, Mark Morgan, those of us who have retired from the Border Patrol or worked at Border Patrol and have been telling, for the last 3.5 years, what's been going on. We're just getting more proof, more evidence that this administration has completely dismantled the border.
And listen, I was on a number of those ride-alongs and fly-alongs over the years. I started my career in Yuma, Arizona, right on the border. Bill Maloogian, Sheriff Boudreau, filed the FOIA last October about those on the terror watch list. He was denied. Bill says the following here: I only asked for the countries they are coming from. But CBP argues an exemption for records which could reasonably be expected to endanger the life or physical safety of any individual. And you have to ask, what about the safety of the United States and the people who live here, Sheriff?
Let me say, law enforcement has been ringing the bell for years. We need people to start listening to the men and women and boots on the ground that are trying to keep America safe and trying to keep its citizens safe. And the Border Patrol and Homeland Security, I know many, and I applaud them coming out and telling stories now. Look, Americans are in danger. And our officers and the men and women and boots on the ground are in danger. And Kamala Harris is doing nothing but being a children's book storyteller. They are not telling the truth to the American people. And I applaud all the law enforcement coming on and telling the story so that we know that when she's trying to be the president and commander in chief, that she's lying. We need to have America secured and safe.
And I want to pick up where you say she's lying, because FoxNews.com writes the following here. Liberal immigration groups are criticizing Vice President Harris' recent adoption of tougher border policies, but are still supporting her, as at least one indicated they believe Harris' new stance is all for show. And Sheriff Cleveland, it means that she's going to go right back to the far left if she gets in office.
I certainly believe so, Trace. Yeah. And look, even during the debate and prior to the debate, she's got one talking point, and that's that President Trump, strong-armed the Senate into, shuttering that bill. But we all know that bill dealt with immigration. It did not deal with border security. The bill that did deal with border security was H.R. 2 that the House passed, sent to the Senate, and they sat on. That bill is with border security. We don't need a bill on immigration. We need to secure borders again.
Yeah. I want to play this soundbite very quickly. I'm running out of time here, but Christina Pascucci, who is going to be on the show a little later, was in Aurora, Colorado today, and she interviewed a resident there. Watch.
It's been pretty crazy. We've had SWAT, DEA, Aurora PD, Aurora Fire blocking off this section off and on for about the last year. Really bad for about the last 6 months. We've had homicides. We've had drug busts. You name it, it's been over here.
Yeah, he wanted to be anonymous, no questions asked there. It's a mess down there, Sheriff Boudreau. I only have 20 seconds, but you got to feel for some of these people.
You have to feel for them all. And what about the people who came across legally and did it the right way? And I'm deeper into California than along the border, but we're feeling every impact of the millions of people coming across into the heartland of America. We need to stand up and we need to push back and make America safe.
Sheriff Boudreau, Sheriff Cleveland, gentlemen, thank you so much. Well, Kamala Harris got some star stuff.